is Miyuri.
And this is Bruce.
And welcome to Get Money or Get Out. This is going to be the how-to segment of how to get into cryptocurrency. And I'm going to be asking Bruce some questions. How to get into digital currency if you're an absolute beginner like me, who's not techie. And how can you, start buying for crypto? Okay, first question, Bruce. If I am a beginner, I'm not a techie, where do I begin with cryptocurrency?
It's really important to understand cryptocurrency, first of all. The first place you should start, the first thing you should do is learn about it. And that means not just watching us or whatever, but watching, I'm not the right person to watch. I'm a noob. I'm still learning. I got into this in 2016, and my claim to fame is I bought a bunch in 2016 and we were able to buy property with some of the crypto that we sold off, because it retained the value. But the first thing you should do is learn about it. Watch a ton of videos, right, that simplify what it is. You don't have to actually know the technical part of cryptocurrency. You just need to know what it is. And that's, once you get an understanding of what it is, you can start thinking about where is it going. Mm-hmm. So understand what it is, and then start looking into where is it going to go in the future and where has it been. And then you start to see a graph of where this is going. And what I want to do is show you what I'm talking about. Here is one of the places you can start to learn about cryptocurrency. This is called CoinMarketCap. I'm going to show you some other resources, but this is one of the main places that I started out learning about cryptocurrency. So first of all, I would stick with the top 10 market cap items. That means the most solid cryptocurrencies that have most of the market share, right? So meaning, if you look at how much the current total market capitalization, how much it's totally worth, that's what that means, is $560 billion. Is that B with a billion? Yeah, B. So the total amount of cryptocurrency is right now worth $564 billion. And that probably sounds like a lot, but if you compare it to the total, like a country, the U.S. has $1 trillion. It's $1 trillion economy. If you compare it to places like other countries, that's not, $500 billion is a lot, but some people make almost that much money. You know what I mean? So that's the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies. You want to pay attention to this. And here's why. Because if you go to the market capitalization of all the cryptocurrencies, you'll notice that of that $560 billion, Bitcoin is actually 64%, 60+% of that total market cap. So it's very, very important. It's the gold among silver as far as standards. So that's the very first thing you need to look at from a high level. It's just a very small boat in a gigantic ocean, right? So if you look at the market capitalization of gold, for example, you're talking about let me just look at it real quick. $9 trillion. $9 to $11 trillion. So as you can see, that's not even.
That means
it's a drop in the bucket. It's
there's
tiny.
Less Bitcoin than gold.
Well, no, the valuation of Bitcoin. There's not that many Bitcoin. See, so there's very few Bitcoin that are right now in existence. Mm-hmm. So right now there's about 18 million Bitcoins that are out there circulating. That's what this means, circulating supply. The market capital this is based off of how much each one's worth. But the comparison of cryptocurrency and gold that I was trying to make is that Gold is a huge market compared to a tiny, tiny market in cryptocurrency. Now, why this should be exciting is that they're looking at eventually cryptocurrency being $1 trillion market cap. That means if you get in early, you're going to grow with the market. The value of the coins are going to go up.
Yeah.
Right? Because right now, banks are starting to get into it. Financial organizations, billionaires are getting into it now. It's taking off. It's growing fast. So before you get into it, to answer the question, you got to know what's going on with each cryptocurrency. You should read the history of Bitcoin, for example. What is Bitcoin? When did it start? And to do that, you can go to the coin market cap, and there's a couple other ones I can show you. And there's websites for it. There's lots and lots of historical data that you can look through. You can actually look at this right here, and let me see if we can look at. Yeah, this is the entire history of where crypto came from zero, all the way from zero when it was first created. And as you can see, back in 2014, the price was about $800. Got to about $1,000, and now it's worth $20,000 a piece, something roundabout. I think it's like 18 right now at the time of this recording. So yeah, learn everything you can about the history of it. Another great place to check is CoinGecko. It's pretty much has the same thing. And then another thing you can check is YouTube. Go on YouTube and actually search and watch videos about cryptocurrency. Read books about it. Learn about each coin, not just cryptocurrency as a whole, but each coin is actually different. They're different technologies that do totally different things. People lump them all together, but they're actually very, very different from one another, and they do different things. I'll give you an example on the top three. Bitcoin, all it is, it just holds value. That's it. It's like gold. That's it. And that's why many wealthy people are buying it up, because they want to retain their wealth. Ethereum it's so different from Bitcoin. Not only can it be money, but it can do contracts. It can do what's called a smart contract, which allows you to do a transaction, a digital transaction over blockchain. So you can set up a contract, and you guys are interacting instead of paper. You're interacting with this program that's on a blockchain. And that's another thing you need to learn what blockchain is. But you're interacting with one another over this network. This contract is over a network. And then Ripple. So Ripple's totally different. Ripple is on a blockchain, but they're going to use this for like Swift codes. You know the Swift codes you use from bank to bank? Banks are talking about using Ripple XRP instead of Swift codes. They're seriously considering it, and some banks are already testing it. This one and another one that is battling for this is called, it's not even in the top 10. It's called Stellar. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. But each one of these coins is a different technology. First thing you need to do is learn about each one. Whatever you're going to buy, learn as much as possible about it. So that's what I would say about that.
So as a beginner, what would be the sites that a person can use to buy crypto?
The sites would be the ones that I would highly recommend, the ones that I just pointed out. The first one would be cryptocurrency. Coin market cap is a really good solid site. It's telling you about.
So this is a trading?
It points to different exchanges. Exchanges are where you can actually buy and trade cryptocurrency.
Yeah, this is where they need to go.
Yeah, so this is a place where it's pointing out see, this is why it's one single source that you can go to. This is one of many, by the way.
Okay.
So you got Coinbase, Binance, you got Coinbase Pro, you've got Kraken. Some of these Americans can't use, by the way. Some countries ban some of these items because they don't go through certain regulations that country has.
Which one can an American use?
The top ones I would recommend would be Binance.us, not .com. You'll get kicked off of .com. Binance.us, Coinbase Pro is actually good, and Kraken. Those are the ones that I use. I can't recommend Huobi or any of these other ones. I used to be on Bitfinex and Bitstamp and some of these other ones, and I got kicked right off of it.
Why?
So there was this thing where the U.S. government start kind of cracking down on some of the exchanges. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, it really sucked. That's for sure.
In a way, with this one, the reason this is really attractive is because it's not regulated by the government. Like, it's just, that's the good thing about this.
You're referring to decentralization.
Mm-hmm.
One of the key features of cryptocurrency is that it's decentralized, meaning no central government controls it. You know, they can make it harder for us to use it. They can make it harder for different centralized companies like Coinbase to sell it, to have exchanges and stuff like that. They can make all that harder, but ultimately they cannot control it or stop it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's something that you can completely control. You can be your own bank, essentially. You can bypass the bank. And if somebody has a simple app on their phone, they can send you $10,000 for the price of for $1, $2.
And what would you say? What would that mean for humans?
Wow, that is a great question. Nobody knows where this is going to go. But nobody knows where this is going to go. This is what we're seeing here is historical change that's about to happen to all humanity. Just like money changed all human interaction, this is about to have this fundamental, just like the internet. This is going to be a change as fundamental as money or the internet. I don't know nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody can predict it. I could tell you this: if financial institutions and banks and governments don't get their act together, this is going to make changes that could be harmful to them if they don't take action. And the thing about it is, governments, financial institutions, and companies are all starting to get on board and realize how powerful it is. You don't believe me? Check out the news. It's changing. They are changing. They are like, okay, what can we do about this? They're trying to make laws. Countries are trying to ban it. They can't ban it, so they're like, what can we do? The U.S. government's like, how can we tax this? You know, and so they're making different ways to tax it, and that's why
we should just do it like on stock exchange trading, like
that's what they're trying to do,
right?
Yeah.
And all of these companies are regulated, and so they should just make it available because people are still gonna do it.
That's what they're trying to do. The U.S. government is not trying to ban it. They have done different things to make it way harder, and some of it has worked. Like what they start doing with exchange. So since exchanges, the top exchanges are centralized, and so if it's centralized, that means the government can crack down and shut them down and say, you guys need to stop what you're doing, otherwise your CEO is going to jail. Then they can, if you say, nope, we're not shutting down, they can just come in with guns, you know, take all your equipment, put people in jail, put you up on charges. Governments can do this and have done this, by the way. You don't believe me? Look it up. Look at what China did.
Sure.
Venezuela tried to crack down on Bitcoin. The U.S. government tried to crack down on Bitcoin. They are trying to figure out what to do. And some of it actually, they're trying to do the right thing. And I don't disagree with everything they're trying to do. Because if you want, in my mind, since cryptocurrency, mass adoption is what's necessary. That means everyone's using it. That means you got to make it easier. That means you got to make it so that people don't get ripped off. That makes, and that stuff was happening. It's the wild, wild west of right now, especially in 2016 and 2017. It was, and before that, it was the wild, wild west. The people were getting ripped off and scammed. So the government's trying to regulate it, and nobody knows what direction this is all going to go. But it's going. One thing's for sure, we will not be the same anymore. When this stuff as it becomes more adopted, it's going to change us.
That is a scary ride.
It's scary and it's exciting.
Yeah.
at the same time, because it's a lot of change all at once, and I think it's going to happen over the next, I would say over the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see massive. We're already seeing something amazing and historical happen, whereas all these companies and all these organizations, large, reputable billionaires and smart, sophisticated investors are beginning to buy up as much Bitcoin as possible. That's why it's remained at 17, 18, 20,000, around that range price as of this recording in into 2020. So 2021, God only knows what's going to happen. They're also buying Ethereum, which is the second largest cryptocurrency. They're talking about implementing Ripple. It is, what's happening here is unprecedented and amazing, especially somebody who's been watching this space for a long time. I'm actually excited about it, but I have no idea what this means for us. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say it's going to make the income gap even bigger, because all the rich people are buying up all the cryptocurrency and all the Bitcoin and all the Ethereum. They're buying it up. But it's also going to make an amazingly large amount of millionaires. There are going to be more millionaires. This cryptocurrency, mark my words, is going to make more millionaires than any other industry in history. Like, it's going to make a ton of people multimillionaires because people have been buying it. Normal people have been buying it, and they got in early. And a lot of those hundreds of thousands of people all over the world are going to be very wealthy with crypto, with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't know about the other ones.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, it was just nobody know what it was. And then when it started getting popular, it's kind of like it was all over and wasn't trusted by the population. But because the pandemic happened to where
that's pushed it faster.
Stores are shutting down, places to transact. Your money is not operating as usual.
Digital money has become way more popular, and now people are looking to crypto and thinking to themselves, wow, okay, if we're going to do crypto, if we're going to do digital money, maybe we should think about doing some cryptocurrency, which is way more stable.
Why did we neglect cryptocurrency when turn out all of our transactions is going to be digital?
Right. When you can spread a virus with $1 with fiat currency, like, you got to think different.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. That's part of what's happening. Mm-hmm. So what do you think is going to be the future of cryptocurrency? What do you see?
I really don't know, like, where it's going to, but I do know that people are more open to it just because of everything that happened where a paper money can kill a person.
Right.
Now everyone are forced to transact online. So then people started looking at crypto again because it's like, wait, this was digital this entire time. And we were all forced to transact without paper.
Right.
And since the virus they're carrying, like, deadly, is making people sick.
Another factor I think that's changed things is that large companies are starting to, like, buy it up, are starting to interact with it, like PayPal.
Yeah.
Yeah, PayPal and several other companies started allowing people to use it and sell it and trade it and all that kind of stuff. The next step is for PayPal to actually have wallets. Right now they just allow you to trade and sell it. It makes it easier for more people to buy, which increases the value, and they only have a limited number of, they only have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and like one other one. I don't know what the other one is. But eventually they're going to allow other coins in there, and all those coins are going to go up. So the market cap is going to grow larger and larger and larger. So if you happen to be holding some of those cryptocurrencies, it could increase in value. Mm-hmm. That's just me talking. I don't know if that's the actual case, but it's a possibility.
Okay. So my last question as a beginner, what would you say is the difference between an actual fiat currency, our current money system, versus what's the difference between fiat currency and cryptocurrency?
Okay, yeah, this is definitely a new question that I can answer. So the difference is that fiat currency. Fiat means paper, right? Fiat is like the U.S. dollar, greenback, the euro, the Filipino peso, the dollar. That's fiat currency. A dollar that you take to a bank, and you're supposed to be able to exchange it for something of value, right? But right now, fiat is just a piece of paper, right? And it has a value that we say it has. It's controlled by governments. For example, China can devalue their currency for their own gains. The U.S. can start wars and continuously print out money, or you can have a stimulus check and give it out to people, right? It's the U.S. government that controls that. No one else can do anything about it. The U.S. government can say, hey, we don't like this guy over here. We don't like Venezuela. We don't like Iran. Don't do any more transactions to them. Yea, verily, no one does any more interactions. So fiat currency is completely controlled by one government, right? The problem with that is that government can do whatever the hell they want. And sometimes it's not going to be things that you like. It can be like, we don't like you. Don't let that guy use any more MasterCard or Visa, like they did with Edward Snowden, by the way. That's fiat currency. It's controlled centrally. They can do whatever they want with it. A government. That's not just the U.S. I'm not trying to demonize any one country, but it's controlled by one person, one group, one organization, one government. Cryptocurrency, real cryptocurrency, because there are some that are centralized, like actually XRP, I believe, is centralized. There's some that are not, like decentralized. But the real cryptocurrency is decentralized. That means it's not controlled by any organization, no banks, no governments. No one controls it. If you own Bitcoin, you own it. No one can stop it. You own it, and that's it, right? Yeah. And then it's hard to track. It can be tracked, by the way. Some people say, oh, you can't track it. Yeah, you really can't track it. But there's some cryptocurrencies that you truly cannot track. And so some people use, like, for example, Monero, and there's a few other ones that are completely untrackable. So
they can't, investigate you.
You cannot track it at all. It's untrackable. It's designed to be completely untrackable.
Yeah, so people just started getting more paranoid because of how the government is trying to control,
Yes.
And investigate people who has not really done something that's a terrorism of a kind,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't have a problem with them saying, okay, well, let's punish this other country with sanctions, or let's, but the thing is, who should have that power, really? Should it be one nation, or should it be a group of nations? I just don't agree with the fact that one country should have it. What happens if we have a maniacal ruler who's a tyrant, right? It's going to eventually, it may have already happened. It may have already happened.
Cut the conspiracy. Okay, guys, that's about it.
Okay. All right, is that it?
Thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
All right, see you guys later.
No conspiracy here.
No conspiracies.